Hello, you're watching Qpvn News. I'm Anh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chairs conference on implementation of Vietnam's IFCS. Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense hold tribute activities. EVFTA elevates Vietnam-EU cooperation. President Lương Cường offered congratulations on the 80th founding anniversary of the United Nations in a message sent on August the 1st in response to an initiative of Ambassador Philemon Yang, President of the 79th session of the UN General Assembly. The online event features speeches by President of the 79th session of the UN General Assembly, Philemon Yang, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, and most of the heads of state and governments of the UN members. In his remarks, President Lương Cường affirmed that over the past 80 years, the UN has fostered trust in and hope for lasting peace and sustainable development of all nations and peoples. He perceived that all the international and regional situations are facing increasingly complex and unpredictable developments, while the world is witnessing fundamental changes of the era. Countries should exert utmost efforts to support multilateralism, enhance international cooperation and solidarity, and adhere to international law and UN Charter. President Lương Cường stated that Vietnam will remain a trustworthy partner and an active and responsible member, joining hands with the UN and the international community in resolving difficulties, surmounting challenges, and promoting peace, stability, cooperation, and prosperous development in each country, each region, and the whole world, thereby ensuring happiness and prosperity for all. On August the 2nd in Ho Chi Minh City, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chaired a conference on the implementation of the National Assembly's resolution on Vietnam's International Financial Center, or IFC for short. At the event, leaders of Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang City presented their action plans for the IFC, while representatives from different countries and international financial organizations shared development experience and vowed to help Vietnam with its IFC. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, head of the steering committee, stressed that the establishment of the IFC plays an important strategic role in attracting foreign investment, technology, and high-quality workforce, which will boost the country's economic development and competitiveness. He also asked central ministries and agencies to urgently issue documents to guide the implementation of the National Assembly's resolution so that Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang have a legal basis to establish executive agencies and supervisory agencies and soon put the IFC into operation while working closely with other financial organizations in Vietnam and around the world, learn from other countries' experience, and regularly update and improve the institutional framework for the IFC to ensure new competitive mechanisms. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính requested Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang to prepare resources, infrastructure, and favorable conditions to smoothly build their respective IFC, as well as working with strategic investors and financial institutions and banks to participate and invest in the IFC, maintaining and expanding cooperation with domestic and international partners in the financial sector, and building and develop new financial services, products, outstanding mechanisms, policies, and incentives. After the conference, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính visited the site for the construction of the IFC in Ho Chi Minh City. It's expected that the center will feature a number of significant facilities. As part of the 80th founding anniversary of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, September the 7th, 1945, September the 7th, 2025, on August the 2nd, a delegation of the Central Military Commission, Ministry of National Defense, and the General Staff held a tribute ceremony at the ATK Định Hóa Special National Relic Site in Thái Nguyên General Phan Van Giang, Defense Minister, chaired the incense offering ceremony. At the temple dedicated to President Ho Chi Minh, delegates expressed deep gratitude for his immense contributions as the founder, educator, and trainer of the Vietnam People's Army. The delegation then paid tribute to General Vo Nguyen Giáp at Phong Tướng Hill, honoring the first commander-in-chief and exemplary disciple of President Ho Chi Minh. The group also offered incense and flowers at the memorial sites of General Hoàng Văn Thái and the General Staff Headquarters from 1949 to 1954. As part of the program, the delegation also attended a friendly volleyball match among military teams at Định Hóa Multipurpose Cultural House, a meaningful activity celebrating the General Staff 80th founding anniversary. That evening, the delegation attended a special arts performance titled Source of Glory. The show held strong political and humanistic meaning, vividly portraying the heroic journey of the General Staff, the strategic unit of the Vietnam People's Army, symbolizing military wisdom, still resolve, and absolute loyalty to the party, the fatherland, and the people. A recent exchange in Thái Nguyên brought together Division 312 of Army Corps 12 and a delegation from the Grassroots Construction Department under the General Political Department of the Lao People's Army. The event strengthened the special friendship and solidarity between the two militaries and peoples. Both sides shared effective models and practices in mass mobilization, especially coordination between military units and local authorities in building strong political foundations and boosting socio-economic development. Division 312 presented practical initiatives by its officers and soldiers, such as the Smart Mass Mobilization campaign and the Army supports New Style Rural Area Development. The Lao delegation shared unique experience in building public security movements and promoting the role of village patriarchs in community outreach. The exchange reflected mutual trust, cooperation, and shared responsibility in mass mobilization work between the two militaries. 100 years ago, on August 4, 1925, more than 1,000 Ba Son workers of the secret trade union, led by Comrade Tôn Đức Thắng, fought against the French colonialists to detain their battleship and prevent them from going to suppress the Chinese Revolution. This was a symbolic event of the Vietnamese working class, demonstrating the spirit of internationalism and the noble communist ideal. Since then, August 4, 1925, has become the traditional day of Ba Son Shipyard and later Ba Son Corporation. The history of the formation and development of Ba Son Corporation is closely linked to the history of the nation's struggle for independence. Many Ba Son soldier workers participated in revolutionary activities and become high-ranking officials of the party, state and military, the most typical of whom was President Tôn Đức Thắng. Throughout its century-long history, Ba Son has produced a huge volume of products, notably in the defense production sector, building new modern combat ships, the most typical of which are the 6 fast swift attack missile ships for the Navy. Along with that are many specialized ships for the Coast Guard, Bodyguard, Fisheries Surveillance, Customs and Maritime Militia Forces. Promoting tradition, Ba Son has been focusing on sustainable development on key platforms, building high-quality human resources, training leading experts and engineers in the national shipbuilding industry, always updates, innovates technology, actively transforms digitally, combines with the application of artificial intelligence in production, operation and business management. Over the past 100 years, the tradition of generations of Ba Son workers has always been the flame that fuels the strong will and creative spirit in labor and production of today's generation, creating a solid foundation for Ba Son to continuously develop and contribute more to the military and the country. Coming up next, Vietnam enhances traditional friendship with Latin American countries. EVFTA elevates Vietnam-EU cooperation. Within the framework of the 2025 Foreign Affairs Programme, the delegation of the Party's Central Committee's Commission for Information, Education and Mass Mobilization, led by its deputy head Đinh Thị Mai, paid a working visit to two Latin American countries, Venezuela and Mexico, from July the 23rd to August the 1st. During the visit to Mexico from July the 27th to August the 1st, Ms. Đinh Thị Mai held a meeting with Alberto Anaya Gutierrez, General Secretary of the Labour Party of Mexico. She then attended a plenary session of the PT Central Committee and worked with leaders of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Chamber of Deputies, the Chamber's Committee on Social Welfare, and the Mexico-Vietnam Friendship Parliamentarians Group. The Vietnamese official emphasized that Vietnam-Mexico relations are developing positively on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of establishing diplomatic relations, and at the same time thanked Mexico for being one of the countries that provided post-war reconstruction aid to Vietnam. During the visit to Venezuela from July the 23rd to the 27th, the Vietnamese delegation held meetings with high-ranking officials of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela, attended the opening ceremony of the People's Summit for Peace and Against War, and laid flowers at the statue of President Ho Chi Minh in Caracas. The EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, or EVFTA for short, which has come into effect since August 1st, 2020, is one of the most comprehensive agreements of the EU has ever signed with a developing country. After 5 years of implementation, EVFTA has brought the total bilateral trade turnover of $298 million by May 2025, equivalent to nearly 40% of the total accumulated trade value between the two sides over the past 30 years. At the same time, EVFTA also helps Vietnam become the EU's largest trading partner in ASEAN and ranks 16 globally, not only immediately eliminating over 70% of tariffs upon taking effect. EVFTA also commits to eliminating 99% of tariffs over the long term.
I think we can, after 5 years, we can say that the EVFTA is a big success. Because if you see the trade volume between the European Union and Vietnam, it went up nearly 50%. So the original goal was to bring the two markets closer to each other.
Is the most important and biggest trading partner in ASEAN for the European Union. I think that we have seen some increase of the European investment in Vietnam, and also I think that there is much room for development.
Eurocharm's Business Confidence Index in the second quarter of 2025 shows that 66% of businesses are actively trading within the EVFTA framework, with nearly 100% of businesses having some understanding of the agreement. Notably, 50% of these recorded moderate to significant benefits, with an average net profit increase of 8.7% and some businesses achieving a 25% increase.
We bring good technologies, we contribute to the green movements of Vietnam. We have a lot of state-of-the-art technologies. We are very much interested in technology transfer, in education, help Vietnam to leave behind the cheap labor force-based competitiveness and move further to be more competitive.
In the context of many international fluctuations, EVFTA is one of the 17 FTAs that Vietnam has signed, contributing to strengthening Vietnam's central role in the global trade network. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.